Hello everyone, welcome to my run 3 for GP7 Tall Square. I've been pretty busy with life, so I didn't find time to record, and I initially wanted to edit some stuff on the run 2. When I went through it, I realized that I paused at the correct time, so it wasn't worth an edit. So yeah, anyways, you're going to get a lot of the games back to back because my evenings are kind of free. So ideally, I should be uploading run 2, 3, and 4 back to back. But yeah, anyway, back to this current round. So I was against Provocative, who was on red, green, white aggro. The usual mid-range slop, you can see the Acolyte that curves into good 3 drops in a Redeemer, Anomaly, Rosen, and the Iron Black Tyke, which I will probably show in the client better than here. Playing white means you get access to better 2 drops and 1 drops in case you don't get Acolyte in a Coordinator, Melen, and Sanctum of Repression for removal. And there's always the fake 2 drop of a Reaper, which can act as a 3 drop if you have an Acolyte, because you can then pay the green mana. Uh, Playing white means you also get access to Revolt at the Palace, which can be a fine late game win con. On my side, still on white-black colorless control. So on this matchup, my goal is to remove the Acolyte to prevent them from snowballing. Melan will be an annoying target because I have to remove it first. Um, because my removal is either targeted with a Inklay Dancer and Wanderer or is colorless, so it goes through Melan, but they're the one to choose, so it doesn't work. And yeah, I was a bit inexperienced going into this matchup against Rosen Claden Guild. That's the first time I was playing against it. But it could snowball out of control. Without further ado, let's jump into game. All right. So into game we are. We see the first opening hands. I win the dice roll, meaning I'm going first. I have the turn one vantage, but I don't have the Leyston to go with it, so it's just game to life. The hand is pretty good, but a bit slow because I'll need to play the Jubilant Docks before I get access to black mana currently. So that'll be awkward with the 2 Exorcists. But I do have a turn 2 Contest Coordinator, which is a very good blocker. On their side, we see an instant keep. I'm not sure if... Okay, I'm not sure if I agree. I mean, obviously, I know the result, because we already played the game. But keeping a one-lander like this is weird. I guess they have Husk Forger and Melon, and they could cycle the encounters, but they don't have the red source um, for terminal impact nor anomaly, so they're really reliant on a land draw. Let's let Looking through their mana base, at least all their lands enter untapped. They may have to shock, but that's probably fine in this matchup. I'm not going to be beat down. But okay, a greedy keep, I guess. On my side, I mulligan. I see advantage with this time a Laystone, so this is way more proactive. I have Incline Dancer to remove whatever turn one they play. Pact Beyond Death to just cantrip, get some card selection. Potentially another Laystone, though I think I would bottom it here, rather than the rest of my hand. It's either that or bottoming a land, but with only 3 land, yeah, I think it has to be Laystone bottom. And yeah, we play the turn one 3/3, as one does. And let's see what they draw, what they play. So they do top deck a land, but that's not a land that can let them play Anomaly. They play the Shore. I mean, no reason to shock now. I top deck another land. So here I have options. I have to get a black source no matter what. Since I drew a natural plane, I don't have to shock the stock expense. Even if I draw a white card, I can delay that, and I can just Like next turn, play Pack Beyond Death and play the land taps, or if I need to play the shock. Though I'm getting a bunch of life already on 24. So they draw into a Sanctum of Repression. Okay, yeah, I did remember that, but I didn't see it in their opening hand, so they'll have to shock themselves for two more. They accidentally gain two life, so they do go down to from 17 to 15. Play a Sanctum of Repression, killing the token. They don't get the bounce value off of it. And let's see, I draw another land. Thankfully, it does enter untapped if I play the planes first, but for now, might as well play the Stock Expanse. I don't want to pay 2 life. And I just cast the Dancer because that means next turn I can start chipping at the Pact Beyond Death. Or whatever play I draw into, obviously. Here, I think I'm just worried that they'll play something important and I'll need to remove it, so I'd rather get a blocker. That way, no matter what I draw, like if I draw a Cassia or something, I can immediately develop it behind a blocker. Because as it turns out, creatures are better blockers than battles. Here, they spin the encounter, they hit a Reaper or Blossom, which is really good for them because they have the anomaly in hand. And I don't have a hard removal currently. So the 4 toughness is going to be a problem. On end step, they mill 3, gain 1 life. We see they mill over planes and some good cards. I top deck into Astra Sentry, which is a clean answer to the Reaper of Blossoms. Also gets the flying because the base power is 2. Even with the counter, that would still be 3 or less, but yeah, that just answers it cleanly. Astra Sentry has impressed me a lot, actually. I understand why Lee is playing so much colorless now. This card is great, and obviously Ziv is certainly one of the Magic cards of all time. Well, not Magic, a Revolution card of all time, I should say. Here, let's see. What did they draw? A land. They spin the second encounter, trying to dig into something interesting. We see they draw into Redeemer, which is going to be a problem because that's a lot of stats, especially since it enters with an additional counter. They make a treasure with the Primal Fissure that have to exile, and they use that once per mana to play Melan, I would assume. I don't remember the game exactly, but yeah, it's Melan playing the Impact here doesn't make sense. And they get Bureau to get Hexproof from black, and also the Scry 2, the Surveil 2 is not irrelevant. So here I should play the Pact first. Um, I don't have a double white drop, so I can tap my white source, whereas I could technically keep the colorless open. Also, if I need colors, I can always play the chamber and sacrifice it. So let's see what I flip into. Another Sentry, very good. An Exhaust of Errors, it's better this turn. This first Sentry, I don't think I like as much because um there's the Melon that would have to that would just take the bait. So I grab the Exorcist instead, see what they have in hand. I think they show me Anomaly. I'm not sure. Yeah, they show me Anomaly, and I think I take it. Yeah, there's no reason to see the last card in hand. For all I know, it could be a land, so I just take it. Uh, And here, because I have flying with Maestro Sentry, I can just I can attack into the Pact Beyond Death freely, making it go through 3 and gaining me a bunch of life now. Play the lands, didn't need to do it before, but now I can, so I might as well. They draw into another impact, which could remove the Exorcist of Errors to get back the anomaly, but that's a play over 2 turns, which is relevant. Um, Obviously they could start like activating Tyrell Burrow to Sovel 2. Um, but they already have ways to use their mana, so I'm not sure if they make that play now. In my graveyard, I have a land and a sentry. I'd rather have them get a treasure than a token than a 1/1 soldier. So I give them the treasure. They attack. I take the 4. I was on 27. I think I can handle 4 damage a turn. Especially since now that the pact is on 3, I can gain 3 life a turn, so the poke actually is not doing much. They play the terminal impacts on the sentry. In response, I sacrifice it, might as well gain the 3 life for it. And they have 3 mana left. If they play the impact on the exorcist, they would have only 2, so they couldn't uh make use of it. And they decide to play the second terminal impact into the exorcist, getting back the anomaly, making sure to have uh either more or less than 2 cards in hand to play around the Chronicle of Extinction. Um, Here I top deck into an exorcist, so I can just grab the anomaly back. And yeah, they don't have any more plays. Like they have a, they technically have a clock, but that clock is very non-threatening when getting 3 life a turn. So let's see. Do I attack here? The idea behind attacking is that I could then next turn swing the exorcist as well, forcing them to block. Um, and if I get to search for any card, I'll probably win the game. Like, it's probably searching for a Planeswalker that could close out the game. Even Cassia would be enough. Obviously, if I search for Xiv, I cannot play it currently, but it's only a matter of time. They draw into a land, very bad for them. There's an argument to not play it, but also why? Like, it's a Primal Fissure. You do on the deck thinning. So the bait, quote unquote, of holding back a land, probably not worth it. They do start exiling creatures with a Redeemer, which makes it so they start getting 1/1s. And obviously they swing, deal negligible damage. And yeah, they activate Serial Burrow to surveil too. I do not see what they surveil, but they put an Acolyte in graveyard. So they keep the other on top. They could either draw it next turn or shuffle it back with the Fisher. Let's see, I draw into a pack Beyond Death, which is pretty good because I can play anything that I see with the pact. See what I flip into, tapping the 2 black to keep the 2 white open. And I still have 2 black. I don't have a cards that cost 3 black mana, so let's see. I get a Laystone, an Exorcist, or a Contest Coordinator. I think here I'm good to add the Laystone, make a giant creature, and see another card, more importantly. Yep. Um, and yeah, so here I can attack. They don't have 3 power of creatures, so they can double a triple block to kill the Exorcist. Here, because I got the Laystone, I want the pack to go to 4 instead of this pack going to 0. Obviously, I force them to block because that would be this is currently 5 life gain for a Laystone. With the second pact, it would be 7. I don't think they have a way to enter a 7/7 cleanly. Um, their best way would be a Sanctum of Repression, obviously. But I think they have other targets on the board. And another have a 5/5 that does mean the Redeemer cannot attack as freely anymore. Because even if I give the counter by exiling the Laystone of Being, um, 5 is still equal to 5. So yeah. Here they get a Primal Fissure, they can sacrifice it for a land, anyone. Oh, that was the card they left on top. Okay. So all the more reason to block because if they didn't block and it was a 7/7, the terminal impact they kept on top would not be able to answer. So yeah, to get a mountain, better have two of each color if you can. Um, and they can play the impact on the avatar, in which case I can just pay one black, sacrifice the avatar, uh, and gain one life anyway. Obvi because they didn't do it pre-combat, they cannot even attack. So, I think then that means they wanna hit the Exorcist. No, they still want to kill the Avatar. Okay, so they just missed 4 damage then. That does mean though that I cannot swing into my own pacts, which is important. Here I could sacrifice the chamber, but there's no point in doing it. At least not right now. Not now that I draw land, it's maybe more interesting. Um, so I still attack because if they block the Exorcist with the Redeemer, which they do, I can do -2 to the board to kill everything. Um, I do not sacrifice the Exorcist to have the 2 damage be marked on the Redeemer. Here I hesitate if I want to Chronicle their hand, decide against it. That it's more important to kill their Redeemer because that way I also get to keep my graveyard. Actually, never mind. Uh, what? I'm confused with myself here. Then if you do that, why not sacrifice the thing to Inklight? Huh? Okay, whatever. Um, though we're both handlocked, uh, but I'm on 31 life, and they're the beatdown, so yeah, I'm still in a very commanding spot. I have 3, 6, 7 lands. I can sacrifice the chamber to go to 6 lands plus 2 treasure for 8 mana. So I'm 1 land away from Chronicle. The flashback mode, though the current board is not worth chronicling. Let's see what they Sanctum. They obviously hit the pack that is already below the threshold. Because that way, if it comes back, like if they took this one, would still have the life gain, and it would be closer to the tutor mode. If the tutor was on the 4 defense and the gain life was on the other one, I think it's correct to pick the one that is already behind the mode, but since it is like this, obviously it's correct. So they surveil, put so they put the Tyke second and the foreign first. That way they get to see the foreign encounter, cast it, and grab the Tyke. Very good play. Obviously, it's something I could not have seen while playing the game. They swing for 4, still above 25 life. I'm chilling. I draw into Ziv, which I cannot cast because I only drew the Vantage as a colorless source. Um, Obviously, I was saying about how good Thrust Sentry and Ziv are, but the downside is that your mana gets a bit awkward because you have to run these utility land, but you also have to get color fixing. It's a bit awkward, but but the payoff is so worth it that yeah, it ends up checking out. So yeah, they draw the foreign encounter, play it. Let's see what did they get. Did they get anything better than the tag that I said on top? All right, so they get the tag. They can add, I guess, a mountain to their hand. Um, Let me check the list. They are on contest coordinator, so here I would prefer them to add a mountain and the plains. They do add the plains anyway, doesn't matter that much. The tyke is a problem if it flips, I gotta say. The backside is a 7/7 that can pay 4 mana to turn any number of creatures into 7/7s. That's a lot of power, especially when they have the soldier tokens. So I am a bit worried about this. Obviously, they keep poking me for 4, so sorry about that. I had to mute for a bit. And here, there's a lot of good draws, and obviously the Vantage is not like the first good draw that comes to mind, but it is a good one nonetheless, because it lets me play Ziv finally. So I can probably just answer the take cleanly. And thankfully, even though they have Milan on my colors, obviously white of Milan itself and the black for Bureau, Ziv is colorless, so you cannot prevent anything with Milan. A funny interaction is that if you're in the same color as your opponent, you can use Ziv targeting Milan, and now you have the protection. But yeah, here I just grabbed the Tyke. If I had a red source, somehow, uh, I could technically use the Tyke ability to turn my creatures into 3/3s, but because Ziv has no backside, I don't get the flip, which makes sense. So I pass back to them. They drain to your land. Not great. Um, Whereas a land for me is pretty good. Here they have to keep pressuring me. I give them a token because I know I can flashback Chronicle next turn if I need. Swing for probably face because you can swing the tokens at Ziv. Um, so Ziv has to die. Here, if I'm planning to Chronicle guaranteed, I shouldn't block the token, I should block the Redeemer. I realize that this is always what I want to do, so I do just that. Phenom block the Redeemer and sacrifice the Inklight to itself to gain 1 life and hit them for 1, which saves me a total of 5 HP if I'm guaranteed to go for a Chronicle. I do see they play a land, so the Chronicle play gets slightly worse. It's still fine, especially if they surveil stuff into the graveyard. Um, they are not on since they are on the 3-color version, they are not on spore spawning. So that's not something I can hit, but they exile land. So like at least it's something I can exile for so that they don't get it with anomaly, for example. But to do that, I do have to sack the treasure. That's why I have 7 lands and 2 treasures. So 9 mana total. Let's see what I draw. Does it change anything? Not really. In fact, it makes the play even better. Wanderer can 1/1 anything they play after Chronicle, so the reset becomes even better. In theory, I could have let them, like, I could have played Wanderer, just plus her to 5, and let them exile a non-land creature with the Redeemer. That way they don't, like, they cannot attack. Um, But if I do that, they can full swing at the Wanderer, which then goes to 2 loyalty, and I cannot use the -3, so I might as well just keep the Wanderer in my hand for now. Though it does mean I could delay the Chronicle by 1 turn, which would be the upside. Here I get some trivia that due to how state-based action work, the thing that die to the -2 modes don't actually get exiled. Which is why the mode order was changed. Here, they thought they came to revolt at the palace. Obviously, they knew about it because they used Tyrell Bureau first. So it just comes down to what they get of revolts. Let's fast forward a bit because it's the end game of a control match. So they do flip into Tyke, which means they can get a land. Sadly for them, they're still one off of a Tyke flip. Though Tyke flip here would be worse for them, I guess, because I can play the Wanderer. Here I top deck a bounce land, which is fine. It gets me up on mana. Um, I think the best part of the Jubilant Docks is bouncing an upward vantage. That way I gain 2 life. Yeah, and then so I can just play the Wanderer, exile whatever they play, which was the plan all along. And even though I draw land, I still gain 2 life off of it, so it's not that bad, I guess. I'm also on a natural 9 mana now, so if I ever see another Chronicle, I can just flashback it without any issues. Let's see what they get off Revolts. A Hospital Acolyte, which is very threatening normally, even in late game, because you can pay this 6 mana to make it become a 5/5. But if you do make it a 5/5, it cannot attack because of the Wanderer. Though you can first attack and then pay 6, obviously. And the Rosencladdon Guild, which is probably just going to be a 3/3 for a while, because even though they can fix their job with the Tyrell Bureau, uh, actually, I guess next turn they get double strike, not the top 6. So this is actually determining what they draw. They put both in graveyard, so they cannot get fixed. Oh, also I guess you would draw first before Revolt anyway. So yeah. Let's see. I can just play the Vantage here, gain my 2 life, +1 Wanderer. I guess I'm thinking of Pact first, and see what I flip into, which is, I guess, fair as well. Because if I'm attacking, I'm probably not swinging face. I can swing like the Pact, um, to search for anything and start gaining life. Here I'm thinking of for a while. I get the Sanctum of Repression for a pretty cool play. Um, I put the Wanderer. Technically, they're on a 2-turn clock if they don't block. Um, but there's another thing that Wanderer is very good at, and that's defeating Pact Beyond Death, because it has 6 counter, and Wanderer when she +1s gains double strike in addition to being a 3/3. So it's very good at killing these battles, which Provocative realizes. So they would have taken the 6 face damage and probably like kill the Wanderer in return. But no, they probably have to block, especially since I've shown Sanctum of Repression, which can bounce the Wanderer, so that's even worse for them. So yeah, I forced them into blocking with the Rosen. They keep the Husforger Acolyte back, but I have the Sanctum of Repression. I can bounce the Wanderer, and yeah, there's a lot more game to be played. This is only game 1, because obviously I'm playing control, so the games tend to drag on. So yeah, they just decide to save mental and go next, which fair of them. Let's talk about sideboard, and I'll see you in game 2. All right, so welcome everyone to the side. I may sound different from the game 1. Simply put, I was too tired yesterday, so I just decided to call it a day. And that's the upside of doing post commentary instead of live, is that I can just take a break and come back better. So I left you all after game 1, so let's talk a bit about sideboarding. So I was against Prov's Naya aggro mid-range-ish. In their sideboard, they have a few relevant cards. Um, Sanctum of Repression can hit anything. including planeswalkers. So I'm expecting that they would bring it. It also gives them ways to reuse ETBs such as Tykes or Melons, for example. Um, I'm I was not expecting Cyhawk, but they did bring it in. Something I can say because we already played the games. But you may or may not see it until for now. And if you bounce the Cyhawk, that's a very good way to disrupt your opponent's token maker. Because you play the Cyhawk, nullify a token, bounce it to hand, and now it's very hard to remove the Cyhawk. So yeah. Don't think Fire and Faith does much. Swift Reproach can hit Planeswalkers. So they could bring that in. I don't think there's a single reason to bring in Crucible when they're the one playing Reaper and Anomaly. And I do not have any graveyard synergy. On my side, it's also interesting. Cyhawk is only good against Redeemer and Anomalies tokens, so probably not worth it. And they don't have token in sideboard, obviously. Duress is good, but they're still mostly creatures. There's more than 20 of them. So it's not probably a matchup where this is good. Marked Passage, not really. They're a beatdown deck, trying to accelerate the pace against me. I probably won't have the life to justify it. On the other hand, the Planeswalkers are interesting. That's probably what I'm signing in. I think I would side out the Laystone of B. I'm not sure. Uh, Again, it's been like more than a week at this point since I played the game. Um, Let me think. I think here it's just a case of siding out some planeswalkers from for other ones and moving on. Is there anything else? Maybe I could side out the packs actually. Because even though game one I did have the board control to attack into the pact and start gaining life, that was not the expected outcome of how this matchup should go. Oh, never mind. I think I remember. I think I started the Incline Dancers here because House Forger is the only target. And unlike the my round one matchup, this deck actually has two drops. So they don't just lose the game if I kill their acolytes. So yeah, maybe that's what I decided to go with. I'm not sure. Um, and yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into the game. All right, so into game two. Oh, I did side in the marked passage. I guess they were playing kind of passive, huh? Okay, that's probably not a correct choice. That's also why I do these post-game reviews, is that I get to see what I did, understand why I did it, and come back with a fresh view. So I said it in the marked passage here. That's probably just a hindsight thing, where game one was really slow. It went really well for me. So I want the marked passage to push the pressure. Um, but they're on the aggro deck. I should not do that. So yeah. Anyway, this hand is not keepable. Only black cards, and my only black source is a bounce land. It's probably not workable. So it's probably going to be a mulligan here. And I can see they keep with a lot of white cards, a melon and a sanctum or a swift reproach that can curve into rosen and be a problem. My second hand it's good. There's two lands, a contest coordinator, and a laystone. So like I can play the turn one laystone, get a blocker, and then play Concord, either find a plan for the next turns or find the planes. Obviously fetching black with the Fisher, so I'm probably doing it on turn two. Since I only have two lands and my deck really wants at least four, probably not playing the Fissure if I can choose not to. But here it's obviously the planes for the Laystone. Unlike game one, it is just a 1/1. A nice charm blocker for the early game. And even if it was a 3/3, they would just play Sanctum, bounce the Melon, and kill the token. So yeah, whatever. Um, Let's see. So I said it in the Faces of the Faceless. That means they cannot get back lands with the Reaper Blossoms, and they cannot. Um, Sorry. I spaced out for a bit. They cannot get lands with the Reaper Blossom and exile cards with a Fabricated Anomaly. That's the reason I went for the Faces in the first place. Some people run the archival storage, which is only 1 mana, but instead of preventing hating graveyards, it just removes abilities, which doesn't really work against this green-red midrange shell. So okay. I thought I studied this out. I guess in a host quadra matchup, you really don't want to set out the dancers. Um, Interesting. Okay, so I grab it because the creature side has an activated ability, even though the side you're playing it for is the -2 mode. Well, the -2 mode attached to a body. They play a fetch land, and then they can curve out into Rosen. Rosen with Melan for protection is quite annoying. Here, I think I really need the land because if I don't draw into one, I can't even play Cassia, like I'm screwed. Thankfully, I do draw into one. And yeah, I have to play the Inklights. I cannot let Milan keep protecting the board, so obviously they activate Milan anyway. No real reason to not to do it. They choose white. I don't play 1 mana removal, but yeah, that works. Um, oh, here we're on turn 3 and I'm only on 22 life. They didn't deal damage, so I realized I lost. I forgot to gain 1 life from a Laystone. And Propagative allows me to gain it. Obviously, this is an instance of a miss trigger. So if they wanted to, they could have called Judge. I would probably have gotten a warning, and they would have had the choice whether to allow me to resolve it or not. But they gave it to me, so thank you. Here they play a Primal Fissure for deck thinning because next turn they want to shock the jungle into at the Palace. Um, and yeah, so if they want to clear the way for a Revolt, might as well play the Sanctum right now. Obviously not bouncing anything. Since my plays are very passive, the only play I have is like Planeswalkers and I have a Reproach for it. They can just exile the Laystone, which prevents my life gain and also prevents me from making huge blockers eventually. Um, so yeah. I decide not to block with the avatar, the 4/4 with the avatar here because it's going to grow, so I might as well block it after. Here I run up Cassia, um, probably making a 2/2 blocker and going to get a Reproach. And might as well attack with the Concord because if I'm blocking, it's probably with the avatar. Oh, this would be a misplay if I think they sided in the Advance of Fire and Faith, but it's really bad against my deck. It only hits the tokens, which I'm not even sure I'm going to make. So I don't think they sided it in, and I think I'm correct on that from the games. At least I don't remember it. Maybe it happened. It's Control, and the games were a while ago, so maybe I just forgot. Here, the top deck into Foreign Encounter, which opens a new line of Swift Reproach plus Foreign. Um, Also, no, actually, never mind. They can just Swift Reproach into Revolt at the Palace because Rosen also discounts the second spell. I think like the Alfino and Alize from Final Fantasy. Except instead of a card draw and being a pair, it's just on one card and you get counters. Here, I do realize that I don't take the Scry 2. Wow. Okay. I think I was stuck on the previous version of Swift Approach. I forgot that now I could scry too. Oops. So anyway, yeah, Cassia gets exiled. They get a lot of counter onto Rosen, and there's a revolt at the palace. They flip into Redeemer, which is awful for me because no, I'm not getting a graveyard the entire game, and they're going to stack a lot of value. Here I start th deciding that it's worth blocking. It's 6 damage, that's a lot. Let's see, I draw lands, which is not bad. I will eventually need lands to cast my top end. But yeah, I really need better than this right now, so I just go for a passage. I draw Wanderer, which I would end up have straight to the bottom, so the only card I would have probably bottomed if I'm intending to passage is the Swamp. Um, so I'm not that punished by the Scry 2, though I would have loved the info. Here I get into another land, which is better because I can still play the Concord and just play the docks, which not only keeps me going, um, but also gives me a colorless mana if I draw into Zip. So yeah, uh, I can either play the Sanctum or the Concord here. I decide to go for the Sanctum because I cannot let them keep on revolting. I would have loved to not reprieve with the Sanctum, but the like most of the time you just read it as Exile target non-permanent. Also, you can bounce a thing, but if you want to bounce an expensive thing, you do have to bounce. So yeah, here the top deck into Terminal Impact. So I would probably be dead on the third chapter of Revolt if I didn't exile it before. And yeah, they're just going to spin the encounter. Might as well see what you draw. It only costs 1 mana to do so, even if you still want to Terminal Impact after because of Rosen, which discount the second spell again. Sadly for them, they draw into Acolytes, which is actually not good for me because with that treasure, they have the 6 mana to flip it into a 5/5 trample, which would be 6/6 trample now. And yeah, they get a counter. They forget a counter with from the encounter from casting a spell. Um, I charm block, so it doesn't really matter, and they end up catching it pretty soon. Yeah, here it is. They realize Rosen should be a 7/7. Obviously I let them because they let me have my trigger. And it's probably not swinging the game anyway. Like, so since there's no reason to it doesn't really impact the game at this point, and they let me have the trigger, so obviously I'm going to let them, right? Let's see here. Uh, so here, Faces of the Faceless, is actually a downside. I would rather have them get like lands or something with a Redeemer, so I really don't want to play the Faces. Let's see. I think I tap. This is incorrect mana tapping because like I cannot add the. Sorry, I cannot add the Stroh Sentry that would need a colorless. With the contest coordinator. The only other card that required colorless mana would be 5 mana anyway. So yeah. Um. Okay, yeah. I'm just putting up blockers at this point. I think here I may have liked more to play Concord plus Incline Dancer and hold. Oh, yeah, hold up. So play Concord, play Incline Dancer. Hold up 2 black mana because I could have played the Swamp instead of the Plainside Bounce. Um, and then block and sacrifice to take less damage. But I guess this version means they have to flip Husfudger, which is actually not even good for me. Um, so yeah, they just swing. They can flip the Acolyte. I have to chum block to the other two creatures. Uh, and probably even Acolyte itself. Obviously, I'm saying this because I'm playing around the thermal impact that they have. I don't know that they have it. Um, so here in my head, I'm probably playing around the fact that they don't have it, because if they have it, I'll lose anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking a bit, but there's not much I can do here. The game probably just ends. I block one of them. They let me uh I block two of the creatures, and they impact me for the game. So yeah. I think here it's not the misplays really, but I mean forgetting the Scry 2 is pretty annoying. It's more the sideboard choices that make me lose the game. So this will be relevant if I play them again on this deck. We'll see. And on to game three we go. All right, so on to game three we go. As I lost the second game, I get to be on the play. They chose to Molto 6, sorry, before the game starts. So this is the 7 they keep. They have a turn 1 Huskwarger, and they can fetch to play turn 2 Anomaly. On my side, we have a turn 1 Laystone, not a 3/3, just a 1/1. But two Inclined Dancers, which will be very good at answering both their 1-drops. And because I can enter the Acolyte, that means I can force them to play the 1-drop. So that's upside. And though there is no colorless source right now, so that will be a concern. And yeah, so they make a comment about me always having the turn 1 Laystone. But in reality, they're playing a House Flutter deck. They cannot complain about getting the turn 1 play turn 1. Um, because their entire game plan is also going 1, 2, 3. No, 1 into 3, sorry. With the House Flutter Acolytes. So yeah, I get my free 1/1. They play House Flutter. I get another Laystone. Probably not going to be that relevant this game. Um, but at least I can cycle it. It's just 1 mana cantrip that's attached to a 1/1. Like, that's not the end of the world. Though I would have preferred to draw land. Obviously, preferably a colorless land. Because I do have this Ziv that is for now not getting cast anytime soon. So they play Milan because might as well. Um, unlike, as I said, unlike Dr. Chipmunk, they're not getting crippled if they cannot cast their 1-drop. If they, sorry, their 3-drop. Here I just decide to lay back, wait for them to make a play because Inclined Dancer is an instant anyway. It's probably telegraphed at this point, but I'm fine with it. Even if they know that I have an Inclined, I'm going to use it anyway. So yeah, they draw into a Sanctum of Repression. No real target on my board currently. I mean, I guess the Laystone, but they probably have better stuff to do. And here they run up Redeemer of Hollowed Flesh, which is going to be a 4/4 because my graveyard is empty. If I kept an extra mana open, I could have cycled Laystone, but that still gives them a counter. So yeah, no reason to. And yeah, just Inclined Dancer the Melon. And move to my turn. I draw another Ziv, which is not great because that means I'm stuck up on lands. So I have to cycle Laystone. As I said, it's not the end of the world. I plan to do it anyway, and I do draw into a land. But it's not the a great situation. Um, so because I drew an untapped land, that means I can hold up the one black mana for the Incline Dancer if I have to trem block, which is great. And because I cycled the Laystone, I can get a counter on the Avatar. And let's see, so I exile the Laystone for the Redeemer, they get a counter. And yeah, they just swing for 5. I can pay 1 mana to kill the token. So that I just gain 1 life instead of losing 5. And they run up Anomaly. Um, Here I could play the Concord to try to fight a land and the Incline Dancer, but I decided to go for the Chronicle instead. Um, I'm not sure if I like the play of making them discard 2. Like, even though it gets rid of all their hand, I don't have that many proactive plays then. And this Redeemer is going to grow into a threat. Also, because I use Chronicle, it's not in my graveyard. That means it's going to be exiled by the Redeemer. So I will not be able to flashback at this game. Though with 4 lands and being stuck, I don't think that's that's a problem for me anytime soon. It will be eventually though. And yeah, let's fast forward this game because it wasn't that great. So they foreign encounter into another Redeemer, so I'm not getting a graveyard this game. Oops, okay, that's a little bit too fast, Crucius. Uh, so yeah, they get to exile 2 cards in my graveyard per turn, get a lot of counters. Because they're trying to beat me down, they get a counter onto the anomaly as well. I decide to hold back the token because the Redeemer is growing anyway, and it's not like I have that many options. So yeah, I do draw into a Sanctum of Repression here, which is fine. Um, it can help me find more pieces. I decide to first play the Concord, see if I can get something useful. I get Cassia, which eh gets me tokens. I would have to not block an entire turn in order to get value of the -3, but just making 1 token per turn probably fine. And so yeah, I play the Sanctum, bounce the Incline Dancer as a way to maybe get a 1-for-1 trade using the -2 from the Stroke of Like. That means I get 1 less blocker, but at this point, like I'm not probably blocking any that much. And here they loot away the anomaly because the puzzle box is legendary, even though the token doesn't say it, the card does. So yeah, so that means they don't get a second puzzle box even if they play a second copy, so they just load it away and fight a Sanctum of Repression, which punishes my own Sanctum, and allows them to get back their Redeemer. And yeah, this is going to grow into a problem because one of the Redeemers is a 6/6, the other is a 4/4. That's starting to get out of hand. And I draw into another Zev, so not much I can do here. I just play a token and pray to God I can survive. They loot away land, get another land, loot away, gets cycle the land, I mean, which allows them to also get a cut from the anomaly. They draw into a Redeemer, but doesn't do much. So they full swing. Then they full swing, then decide how to attack. That's not really how it works, but it's going to happen anyway. And yeah, the swing phase, probably the only logical play when you're threatening more damage than I have life points. Um, so here I have to block. Probably I can probably let the anomaly through because that's going to be the least damage over multiple turns. Like I can take the 4 and next turn use the Concord to block the Redeemers anyway. But at this point, I'm mostly on borrowed time. Though on borrowed time is a currently banned card. Anyway, this was just a joke. So I joined to Sovereign's Execution, which because I have the Laystone, I can get the Vigor. If I just cast it on my end step. So I make two blockers, one with Cassia, one with the Adventure on the Incline Dancer. Though since I'm still stuck on lands, I can only cast two spells, cannot even use the Incline Dancer activated ability to gain some life. So I just kill the bigger Redeemer, ends up being futile because they have another one in hand. Though it buys me a turn at least. They play another Redeemer. My graveyard is still non-creature, non-land, so they get counters. I go down to three because I know this turn that I cannot play Terminal Impact, and next turn I'm getting at least one life with the Laystone, and one more life with the Dancer. I draw into frustrating Jubilant Dogs because I have to bounce a land, and that's one of the colorless sources that I need to play Ziv. Um, but it is a bit slow, which is the issue. Uh, I first name white, realize then I need the black mana if I want Incline Dancer. I have enough white sources anyway. What do they draw? They draw into a land, probably can cycle that away or loot it away with the puzzle box. And they draw into a shock land, which is better because now they can just play the Revolt right now. And yeah, I don't think I'm surviving this game. Um, yeah, let's see. Play Revolts, check top six. There's not that many misses. I mean, misses, there's obviously lands, but anything they get is good. Like even Rosen, they're hellbent, so they can only cast one card, but that's still like a 3/3, and a 3/3 is currently too much for me to handle. So yeah. Let's see, what did they get? They got two other Revolts, and the Rosen, and three lands. So yeah, not much of a choice. I get a lot of counters because I cannot do anything about it. And yeah, full swing face because might as well. Here I'm probably just going to block them and sack either go down to one. Yeah, I sack one thing to go down to one and avoid blocking the anomaly because like now I'm dead to terminal impact guaranteed, but I have no choice. I have to play around them not having it. Here I get Upland Vantage, which is 2 life, which is great because it allows me to survive at least for a bit and play Xiv as well. Um, in their graveyard there is a Redeemer and a Thicket Path, which is interesting. I think for a while, and I find a line that kind of gets me out. At least it buys me a turn. So the line is because this is a triggered ability, the gain 2 life on the Vantage. I can first -2, then play the land, which allows me to gain a total of 4 life, then play Xiv, and integrate something, so essentially remove an attacker. Um, and it's probably going to be the Redeemer, no reason not to do anything else. Maybe the Revolt? No, I think the Revolt is too slow at this point, so I have to kill the Redeemer. Going to combat gives me a treasure, probably. They don't want me to get a blocker. Yeah, I get a treasure, which at least I can sacrifice to the Dancer to gain some life. And let's see what they flip into with the Revolts. Oh yeah, obviously I gain one more life with the Laystone, so I get out of range of Terminal Impact to the face. But now they have the fun part of checking top six. They fight Sectum of Repression, targeting the Dancer. I could technically let it be exiled and remove the Sanctum, but I have other stuff to remove already. So I think I'm just sacrificing the Dancer to itself. And that should be game. Oh, yeah, here I think I know what's going through my mind. Um, like I need them to make a misplay, so I need them to think I have a dancer in hand and like miss attack or something. But I'm dead on board. They get a Rosen trigger obviously, and yeah, they decide to swing some at Ziv, which allows me to survive. But I'm pretty much dead here. There's not much I can do. I join to another land, which again, fashionably late. Play another div. Uh, get a blocker, I guess. But yeah, here I'm just dead. They get the double strike. So even the tyke itself is lethal. Also they can flip the tyke. So yeah, there's no way I'm surviving here. They just make sure that I'm always dead. And yeah, GG's. Good game to them. And I'll see you guys for the round 4 commentary.